Hello everybody, here is my 1995 chast white ITB stroker with the Mazdaspeed A-Spec Type 2 aero kit. So the story is I bought this about a year and a half ago, coming on 2 years actually, at Laguna Seca, and the original owner was there doing some hot laps. He had some problems with the car, it blew the radiator, and it sounds like he was just over it. So he put a for sale sign up on it, and I didn't have a car there that year, so it actually ended up working out. He's the original owner, 126,000 miles on it. Ended up picking it up the next day and driving it all the way back home here to Portland. Originally it came with a tan interior, which I am a big fan of, but I had all this black interior stuff, so swapped the interior from tan to black and did a NA6 dash while I was in there. But right off the bat you can see I've got the Type 2 wing, skirts, and then the lip as well. All OEM, of course. And the original finish on the airfoil is a nice brushed aluminum. And I've got the short mud guards as well. See if I can get a better angle on this wing here. So yeah, it's in pretty good condition. Also have the rev limiter 30th AE sticker and Laguna Seca plate frame. Actually came with the car, so I offered it up to the old owner, but he said I could keep it, so cool little piece of memorabilia. We got the Zoom fuel lid here, some hard water stains. I do have the M2 1001 lid, but it's missing the surround piece because the person I bought it from didn't want to cut it out of the car, so the runabout's good enough for now. Moving to wheels and tires. These are Wed's Courage, also called 2PF. Originally 14 by 6, rebuilt to 14 by 7.5 or so by Love 20B in SoCal. So I've also got 195 50 R888s on there. And let's see, rear end, stock taillights, stock finish panel. I wanted to do garage rear taillights, but I showed some restraint in exterior modifications. I kind of wanted to go for something of a cohesive theme, so OEM taillights, they will stay. We've got 1001 original mirrors. Not sure if you can see, easy way to tell, not so much, but there's the emblem right there. It'll say M2MS, and also with the authentic M2 ones, they're full aluminum body, whereas runabouts and some other ones are stainless steel, so it's pretty easy to tell the difference when you both have them in your hand. Have a nice vintage Road and Stir sticker on the corner window. I have a matching one on the other one as well. Another shot of the wheels. Actually, pretty good. I rolled the fenders, but no pulling, and they don't rub on anything. Let's see, moving around to the front, we'll get to the engine later. Active Type 1 headlights, and here is my bonnet badge. You can see how dirty the car is. It's just been sitting here for a few months. And here's another shot of the A-Spec lip. Fog lights. Lamps. I actually just recently installed those. Yet to wire them up. I saw the prices been going up crazy on them, so I decided I needed to buy some before. Too expensive. Let's see. Close the hood here. Garage Very Type 2? I don't know. I always get those mixed up. It's the one that you can still buy. And quick latch latches. They don't work quite as well as the Aero Catch, but I think they sacrificing a bit of function for a bit of look. And you can also paint match them too, and then they're really not noticeable. These are the medium size ones. They make a smaller one. I'm not even concerned with it. So you can always run the larger, but try to kind of find the balance between looks and function. So, and they're pretty easy to pop if you have the headlights up. So we'll get into the engine bay now. Let me just grab my rod here. So here is the Mazdaspeed C spec. The exposure is kind of wonky since it's a lot of high contrast underneath the hood. But yeah, so it's Mazdaspeed C spec. So that is a stroker to 1975 cc. High compression, 12.6 to 1. Reworked head, it's got cams. And it actually came with the oil cap and plug wires, which was kind of neat. Mazdaspeed header, which it also came with, and the heat shield, which the header and the heat shield are both made by Maxim Works, but it does say Mazdaspeed on the header, but not on the shield. This is the older design. As you can see, there's no weld on the outside, so really common on these older headers is they will leak. So I'll need to get that sorted at some point. I don't really want to tack around the outside, but if that's what it takes, I will do that. So yeah, the motor was imported from Japan. I actually found it on Yahoo Japan auctions some years ago. It was a C-Spec that had been wrecked. Well, not wrecked. I'm not sure what was wrong with it, but I think I figured out why it was being sold once I got the motor in. But yeah, the motor was being sold, the body kit was being sold in a separate listing. I ended up winning the motor for less than $2,500 and shipped it over here. I sat on it for a few years until I finally threw it in a car. But when I got it swapped in, it ended up having a knock. So back out it came, pulled it apart. It ended up spinning a main bearing, so I had the crank resurfaced, and I'm running oversized bearings now. And since the motor was apart, I refreshed all the gaskets, redid the seals and cleaned up some stuff, ran a new OEM damper, just things that I didn't want to do later, so I figured might as well do it all at once. The car made around 178 horsepower at the wheels, 150 or so torque. But that was with the old intake setup, which was the chambered that ran to a Mazdaspeed airbox on this side, which, although it's cool being an OEM setup, it definitely was a bit of a bottleneck as far as getting air in. With the chamber closed, the lid on the intake, it made about 15 horsepower less than when we took the lid off. So, and the 178 figure was still with the intake coming through here, just with no lid on the box, which box is right here actually. So yeah, there's a lid that goes on there. That way you can service the ITBs. So now I'm running SQ Engineering 100mm stacks, green exclusive color through Battle Garage. And there's a few other changes I've needed to do since I'm ditching the intake setup, which is I needed to run a different IAC, so I'm running an NB one now as opposed to an NA, and I'm needing to figure out the PCV system. So I've got a Moroso catch can here that I'm in the process of installing. But yeah, so once that all is back together, it'll probably go back on the dyno and be retuned. Another cool detail, tuned by Mazdaspeed badge. That did not come with the motor, but it's something I had from the stash. That'll probably have to be relocated. But I will be running a filter on this setup in the form of Gen V, Pipercross or ITG. And I got to cut a custom backing plate to install. So the strange thing about the C-Spec setup is they are Toyota Silvertop throttles, but the port spacing is different than a normal Silvertop. So I don't know if they just spaced it out more. I haven't really dug into it too far. But yeah, not much else in here. Tan flex coilovers, some retro modern knurled headlight adjusters, Garage Star cooling panel with the latch delete, and Mazdaspeed radiator cap sticker. The green cap actually doesn't fit Miatas, so I just put the sticker from a different radiator cap, or I put the sticker from this cap onto a different radiator cap. So the one that does fit is pink, and it doesn't kind of match with the rest of the theme, so I had to improvise. Coil radiator, I am still running AC and power steering. I plan on keeping AC. Power steering, I might look into converting to electric. Moving on. Here's the hard top, which I usually always have on. To the interior. Bit of a mess. Deleted the soft top. I figure I'm pretty much always going to be running hard top or bikini top. Kevlar Recaro's M2 1001 aluminum roll bar, which causes a lot of controversy on the internet. It actually does bolt all the way to the chassis and all the way to the floor. So function-wise, it's no different from a normal roll bar, but it is made of much softer metal. Very light though. I can lift it with like one finger. Other interior stuff. Let's move to the door. We have speaker grill, Nilex door pulls, Nakame latches, and a 97 door panel. I don't know if it's Nilex or Nilex or Nakame or Nakami, or there's so many different pronunciations. It's probably Nilex actually, because the Japanese translation always says Ni like Knee, Rex, R-E-X. So maybe it is Nilex, but I always call it Nilex. More Nilex. When we get to the center, we have a Nilex shift knob and e-brake button and tombstone with the hazard switches. And we have Hayashi vents, Artworks Dewa climate with Garage Star buttons, and KG Works start button and an ARC shift plate. And we have the KG Works KG Works gated shifter with a custom-made shift plate. The KG Works one had broken. This one's not quite installed right now. Car's kind of in pieces, but yeah, it's really nice. Countersunk screws, stainless brush finish, just a nice one-off piece. And so we have Artworks vent rings on the edges. So I actually only have 2 Artworks vent rings. I've seen some people put the rings on top of the Nilex tombstone, but it just looks a little too much for me. We have the Zoom center console with rev limiter window switch, and we have a Voodoo e-brake there as well. One secret feature of the car here, we have HKS glove box gauge holder. So I've got a wideband here, I'll probably run a coolant gauge here, and these were for electronics like boost controller, time retarder, stuff like that. So I'm not sure what I'll do with that side, but it's a neat little feature. Very sleeper. Let's see, checkered Unos floor mats, NA ones. Difference is the NA ones have a metal emblem there. The NB ones, it's just cloth. Nakame trans tunnel. Let's see, I've got the IL Motorsports old design, squared instead of oval slide mirror. It actually came with the car, nice little bonus. And some aluminum visor delete plates. But yeah, like I said earlier, I swapped a 1.6 dash, which is always the first thing I do on my NA8s. Let's go around the other side here. There's another shot of the roll bar. It actually polishes up pretty nicely, and there's also a leather cover that it comes with, so it just zips off if I ever want to be a little more sleeper. On this side. So you've got Roadster door sills, I guess I didn't mention those. And Mazdaspeed D-cut steering wheel with optional leather horn pad and authentic 1001 horn button, which some people think they have a 1001 horn button, but they're actually not. The easiest way to tell is this texture. So if we take this off, get a good view of the Artworks Dewa cluster, thick rings with the original faces, and a Works Bell Wrap Fix 2 in gold, which I've never seen gold ones aside from the Top Secret Special Edition. This one doesn't say Top Secret on it. So maybe it was and the lettering wore off, but kind of fits the whole theme. We have retro modern dimmer switch, whatever you want to call it, and retro modern trip reset. But I think that's pretty much everything in the interior. There's one, so there's no stereo in here. That was one plan I've had, to run a stereo, which I have over here on the ground. It's actually a mini disc player, but it fits the brushed finish really nicely. So we'll see. As far as other mods, I have an RSR, X-Mag, Rice Cannon. I used to have Jackson Racing, but I needed something a little louder, so went with the RSR. I've been considering going to a Mazdaspeed, but the thing with Japanese exhausts is they're all such small diameter. Not really the best performing. So I think that's about it as far as rundown of the car. There's the other Mazda Roadster sticker. I'd start it up, but it's cold. Maybe later today. Here's a shot of the shop while I've been neglecting the car. Too much other stuff to do right now. And then tires on tires. But yeah, any questions, let me know. Text me, PM me, whatever. And have a good day, guys.